It's Wednesday.
Hey, what's up?
We got Jule Vera on the show. How's everyone doing?
Hey. Good, how are you?
Doing great. We got Craig with us.
Hi, what's up?
And we got Melissa.
Peace.
So we got some new faces. We have a new face, different face. I'm not Ollie. Ollie's not here, so I'm filling in. And I'm going to try not to mess it up. But as always, it's Babe Talk, so we're going to start the show. We're going to ask how everyone's day is. We're going to go with Jule Vera, and then we're going to go to Craig, and then we're going to go to Melissa. So let's start. How was your day?
Well, it was pretty good. We drove all the way down to Florida today to hang out for vacation.
Yeah?
What
What part of Florida?
4 days or so, since Warped Tour was brutal.
Yeah. What part of Florida are y'all in?
Panama City Beach.
Panama City Beach. That's like 4 hours from me.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah?
Yeah? I might come down, we can rip it up.
Where do you live?
I'm in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's very cool. No one's ever down here.
I definitely know where Mobile is.
Yep.
Played a show there, like.
Yeah, we definitely played a show with He Is Legend there a few months ago.
Yeah, where'd you play?
Well, it was
Alchemy Tavern.
Yeah, I was supposed to be at the Soul Kitchen, but like 8 hours before the show, pretty much literally, they emailed us and were like, "Hey, we gotta move the show." So
Yeah, it was at Alchemy Tavern. Yeah, that was weird.
Oh, okay. Word. I'll have to check it out next time y'all come through. Craig, how was your day? Oh?
Great job.
didn't like us.
Whoops.
Okay. Well, stage fright's
He
real.
spent his day in Cedar Fort.
Yeah.
Melissa, how was your day?
It was a day. I worked. I typed manuals for cars. I came home, and then I wrote stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to a show this weekend, or two. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, Craig just joined us,
Yeah.
I think. Are you there? No? Well, when you are, you can tell us about your day.
Come out,
Okay.
wherever you are.
But, so what are you guys doing in Florida?
We're just hanging out for a few days to just like to get a vacation time after Warped Tour. So yeah, like our drummer here, his dad. Well, I guess he's from here originally. They're from Tampa area, so they have a condo here. So we just came to hang out for a few days. Yeah, we
That's sick. That's a good hookup.
Yeah, we didn't get home from Warped Tour until like 2 days ago or something.
Yeah.
Because it ended
In Seattle.
Yeah, which is
Oh, wow.
very, very far from where we live. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
pretty much
no
the
deal.
absolute furthest. It's a long
The
drive.
farthest in the continental U.S. you can
Yeah.
I'm terrible with geographic location and hours, so how long did it take,
Well, I
so
mean,
to say?
We
A couple
drove
days
for
or
like
something?
4 days.
Yeah.
Oh,
took a couple
Seattle
so you
Seahawks
guys,
were here. We took a few short stops. Like we stopped in Yellowstone, which was really
Ooh.
cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Very
We
nice.
saw the Grand Tetons and did a little four-wheeling in the mountains.
Yeah.
So
And,
jealous.
yeah, so then we went home and worked on a song in the studio for a day, and now we're here.
Sweet. So y'all went on tour for the whole summer, and then you drove 4 days to get back home from tour.
Basically,
Yes.
yeah.
Sick,
Tour to get
sick.
back and forth.
So I don't know if Craig's coming back. He's just chilling out. He can do that. But we're gonna move on to some other stuff that we're gonna talk about today. So, has anyone seen the Tony Hawk Pro Skater track list?
I didn't see State Champs was on it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, State Champs
Love
is on
State
there,
Champs.
and it is banging. It is banging. It looks stacked. I was a little sketchy because like Rock Band's coming back, but I don't think that'll catch on. But I think, but I really think Tony Hawk's about to blow it up again.
Tony Hawk has always had
Probably
a better soundtrack though than Rock Band, so I mean it's all in what you like though.
Well, Ansley's on a state champ song on the, so it's pretty cool to see them on it.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
excited about that.
Yeah, you can't hear it yet, but it's available for pre-order and stuff. So you'll see she's on the title track, which is pretty cool.
Oh, sick.
Oh.
What's her new record called?
Around the world.
Oh yeah, well, it's called Around the World. Yeah.
It's the title track. What's it called? But no, I think this is a really good track listing, because before you would see soundtracks and like Burnout 3, they had Motion City soundtrack. They had the Academy is. Like, everyone used to be on game soundtracks. And you don't see it anymore because these games don't exist, but you look at this track list and you see like Anti-Flag, you see Family Force 5, you see 4 Years Strong, you see the Sheds. The Sheds are on there. It's crazy. Everyone is on there. I don't know, I'm very happy with it.
Nice.
I'm back!
Hey!
Oh, hey Craig.
Internet.
So how was your day?
Fantastic. Cedar Point. Best amusement park on the planet. You guys gotta go sometime.
Did you go on any cool roller coasters?
I went on all of them.
All of them? What's your
Maverick.
favorite?
How'd you not go on Maverick?
Because I waited an hour and a half. There were multiple delays. I was the last kid waiting there. And then they gave me a free ride, and it didn't open up.
Ooh.
It was bad.
Okay.
But I rode Millennium Force twice. And Gatekeeper, and Top Thrill, all of them twice. No lines.
I've never been to Cedar Point.
You gotta go.
What's up with it? Tell me what makes it special.
So many coasters in one place. It's a beautiful setting on the lake. What else, Melissa? You've been there.
I mean, I really like the dragster. I like Fast and Furious when it comes to roller coasters.
And they're gonna.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Well, next year they're gonna have the tallest dive coaster in the world. So like Shakira, Griffin, we're gonna have one of those. This big long ones.
Where you just like drop 90 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's gonna be the tallest one.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I feel like roller coasters, it's a pretty cool place to go.
I actually cried when I was 10 because my parents tried to make me go on a roller coaster, and I'm afraid of heights.
Then you would not like it.
Sounds like
But yeah, Space Mountain changed me. That opened my eyes to the world of roller coasters, but I cried at Busch Gardens when I was 10.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
Splash Mountain has my heart.
Heck yeah.
So, other news that we have going on, Disney just had their D23 convention. They premiered a whole bunch of stuff. They showed all the movies that they have coming out in the next couple of years. They showed a bunch of Marvel stuff. I'm losing my stuff. What do you guys think about it?
Besides Finding Dory, what else is there? I'm sorry, I haven't heard of it. Incredibles
They
2, okay.
Toy Story 4,
Yes.
a movie about dinosaurs that I can't remember,
Yeah, it's coming out in November.
and I don't know what else there is.
So
But-
I heard a rumor a couple years ago that they were doing in Animal Kingdom a mini theme park, kind of like Hogwarts, inside, but it was going to be like the Avatar Blue people.
That
and
is
they were
true.
releasing a new movie along with that. Did they talk about that?
That's 100% true. I was down there a few months ago. In March.
Are you?
They were building it.
So new Avatar movie and awesome small theme
World.
park. It's going to be crazy.
Is it going to be in the tree?
I don't know. I just saw they were building a building for it.
I'm
It's going to
nerding
be like
out.
the theme park inside the theme park.
New
Oh.
Incredibles movie. That's gonna be
Seriously?
That's
Yes.
gonna be
There you go. New Incredibles.
That better be in Animal Kingdom. Heck yeah. I love Animal
Dude,
Kingdom.
I'm so excited for The Incredibles.
That's awesome.
Who isn't excited? Who isn't?
Frozone's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Frozen's wife. They need to bring her back.
Oh, no, Frozen. I'm done with that.
So, I don't know. Was there anything that you guys saw maybe from this convention that you guys were really excited about? No.
I didn't even see the convention.
Yeah, we-
so I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened either until I started seeing headlines, and I was like, oh? They had a convention? Oh, that's big.
I just saw Ollie freaking out about Incredibles 2, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
When is the release date?
No idea.
Probably
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, it's probably either next year or the year after.
Okay.
We've kind of been in our own bubble, like on Warped Tour. So, like for 2 months, we don't know like what new music there is, like what new movies there are. We have literally done nothing except that for 2 months.
We haven't
Or
even
3
seen
months.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, I
You guys haven't seen Jurassic World?
No, we haven't had a
Oh,
chance yet.
man.
And we were
What
looking
about-
at like the Billboard Top 20, and we knew like one song on the whole list. We haven't heard any of them.
But you guys were surrounded by better music.
Did you guys see
It's
Straight
just
Outta
crazy
Compton
not
yet?
talking.
How they what?
Straight Outta Compton. Did you guys see it yet?
I want to see that so bad.
Oh my
So
god. Oh my god.
I saw it last night.
It's so
Don't
good.
spoil it.
It was very good, but don't expect like Inception. It's not 10 out of 10. People are overhyping it really hard, but it's a very good movie.
Very good biopic.
Yeah, y'all should check it out. But
It's on Prime Wire.
I haven't seen
It's on LimeWire.
I haven't seen the new
exists.
Avengers either. I don't know if anyone. Have you guys seen that? Anyone? No.
I'm terrible when it comes to movies. I
Pretty out of
used
the loop.
I used
Oh,
to
dear.
work in a movie theater, so I get movies
So-
for free, but not anymore.
so if you guys are out of the loop because you've been on Warped Tour, what has been going on with y'all?
Pretty much just Warped Tour.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about the, like recently in the last 3 months or so.
Well, like, yeah, like, I don't know, I tried to do a smooth segue and it failed really hard. But, I don't know, tell us some crazy Warped Tour stories. What did you guys do?
Yeah, crazy work rate.
Besides play shows, because,
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we played a lot of shows. I don't know, there was a lot of really cool stuff that happened. There's a lot of pretty interesting stuff. One thing that I think was a really big deal for Will especially is Stephen Christian from Amberlin sang with us one day, and that's Will's favorite band. So that was pretty cool.
oh, I would have cried.
I am so happy for you guys.
That was really cool, actually.
Will did cry.
Let me say that was a pretty nervous day because he was watching our whole set. You know, he was coming on to sing the last song, but he watched our whole set. So it was like the first time he was ever seeing us. He just heard recorded music before that. And I was like, oh man, we're gonna suck. He's gonna hate us.
That's
He's
like,
just not going to show up on the last song.
It was a lot of fun.
But yeah, it was awesome. And it turned out to be really good. Like, the funny thing was, like, we kind of rehearsed it with him a little bit in the bus before, but we were like, okay, so it ends like this. He was like, I'll just feel it out. Like, he's just like, I'll just make up
Swing
something
it.
for the ending. Just don't even show it. We're like, okay. And then it turned out being, like, really cool, and it, like, ended the exact same time and stuff. It was, like, super cool.
It was definitely love, because we have this huge outro on our set that is, like, it's not on the record at all. It's, like, almost like its own song. And it's just this huge thing, and it was just like, I'll just do something. And it's weird, because we basically, like, we take apart, like, half the drum kit and, like, move drums all over the stage, and everyone's running everywhere. And I think he was just standing there, like, looking around, like, what in the world is going on right now? Like, that guy's playing drums. They're over, like, in the middle of God knows where. And then all of a sudden we just, like, started, and he was just like,
All right.
just killed it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
no, that's sick. I don't know, I think that's one of the coolest things about Warped Tour is you just see all these people who are out there busting their ass. And then there's always like that one band who's like, yeah, and then we did this with this band that we've been looking up to forever. And it's a very cool thing to see because everyone starts off and it's cool to watch them give back, you know?
There's a really good community too with Warped Tour. Just like everybody hanging around afterwards on on some of the shows where we have short drives and like there's barbecues some nights and stuff. So you'll see the biggest bands out there and the smallest bands, and we'd be talking to Pierceville or Paris or like whatever. And it's like they don't they're main stage bands like some of the biggest ones, and they'll talk to anybody and you know, there's a lot of great people on the tour.
That's for sure.
It's really cool too how they even the playing field. Like I remember going out in the lines in the morning and seeing Miss May I and We Came as Romans selling their CDs to kids in the line, like like a local band. So it's really cool to see that kind of like work ethic even among like huge bands that are already drawing half the people out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think I've ever gone to Warped Tour and seen a band not like working their ass off. Like even the merch guys are just slaying. Everyone just works to the bone every single day. You guys do it every day in the blazing sun all summer,
Yep.
and it's
That's
always
gonna
the
be me
same amount of
next year.
effort.
Give me me.
Yeah, we had 13 days without an off day one time, so that's
Oh,
pretty rough.
oh boy, oh boy.
But
Read a lot of laundry.
a lot of laundry.
I went to a laundromat and took up every machine in the entire laundromat.
Just you guys?
Yes.
Oh yeah, just like us and the people with us, like our crew and us.
So we had
Like
18
8
dryers.
people on the road with us, 15 dryers, 15
It
washers.
was insane.
Oh wow, oh wow.
But we got it done in like an hour and a half and left, so.
Yeah. How did you keep up your stamina?
I don't know. They gave us free Monster and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
every lunch it was like a little tradition where every lunch I'll go through the line, get my food, get one of those Java monsters,
And
Give me food
Hubert's
the rest of the
lemonade.
day.
Hubert's Lemonade.
Hubert's
yeah.
Have you
lemonade.
guys had Hubert's lemonade?
And peace tea.
Ooh.
It's delicious. If you haven't had it,
Oh,
it's
peace
really
tea is
delicious.
fantastic. I love peace tea.
PC is the best.
Yeah, peace tea is great too. They had these special little cans too that was cool.
Special
Yeah.
hand.
And
I
then
feel-
they had the Monster water that's like a pretty secretive thing, but
Secret.
Secret.
Just water.
Secret but not so secretive.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's really what kept us going, honestly, because if we had to drink like 10 cans a day, or you would just be
Oh yeah, for sure.
laying down somewhere, not alive. So.
I'm dying in a ditch.
I remember the moment I figured out that the Monster Water was a real thing was during Riff Raff's set, because he came out and he started like spraying what I thought was Monster on everyone, and it hit me in the face, and I was like, "That's a Monster."
You realize that was
You should see
Water.
Yeah.
Kyle here pours one over his head every
Like,
show.
Every show. And people would always come up to me after and be like, dude, you poured Monster all over your head.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, no.
Water.
not that hardcore.
Yeah, it just makes me so pumped. I get crazy.
Well,
He's
I
one of those
think
like guys who uses caffeine soap and stuff. So he just, like soaks it in, you know. It's where he gets his real energy.
yeah, it keeps it long and luscious.
It's a secret.
Yeah, it keeps away the dandruff. All right. Well, now that we're on the topic of Warped Tour and we're talking about more music stuff, I think now is a good time to get into all of our interview questions. My screen, I have it as Craig and then Melissa. So we're gonna go in that order. It's gonna go Craig, Melissa, and then me asking questions.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, Craig.
Okay. To be honest with you, I'm just wondering, how did you guys get on Warped Tour as like your first big tour? How did that happen?
I think that was mainly our label that helped us get that. Pure Noise Records is really good about helping their bands get on tours. He had a lot of connection with Kevin, so he just was like, "Hey Kevin, check out this new band we signed." Kevin liked it, so he put us on there.
Nice.
Sweet. That's
It
awesome.
was kind of a surprise, I think. No one
Yeah.
really knows much about it. It was just like, oh, they're going on a work tour.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, Pure Noise Records is a sponsor too, so I'm sure that helped. And like, it was just like the first thing they did. So we signed with them, you know, and then we put out the first song, and then the second thing we hear was like, "You're on Band's Work Tour."
Well, no, we like doing a record contract takes a long time. So,
Yeah.
like, we've known since about last year this time that we were going to sign with Pure Noise. And it was like November when they told us we were going on a work tour. So we've known for a long time. It was just crazy because like 2 months after they were like, hey, we want to sign you. They were like, and we got you on work tour. Congratulations, you're going.
So we had like 10 things to announce in one day. They were like, we're going on a Warped Tour, we signed them to a label, here's some more pictures, like, here's the first
single.
song,
Yeah.
So,
Did you guys ask to be on Warped Tour, or was it kind of just like Pure Noise was like, hey man, we're signing you, and here's a tour?
Yeah.
That's
That's pretty much what it is like.
I mean, we definitely wanted to be because we've been talking about it. Like last year, we were like, oh, maybe we'll get on Warped Tour or something. And actually, I'm surprised they booked. I'm really surprised they booked us this year because last year we were booked for the Atlanta date, just one day, and we had no idea.
No
Like,
one told.
I was in Nashville because that's where I was living at the time, and they went to the Atlanta show just to go to Warped Tour, and there was our name like on the schedule, like here you guys are playing today. And they called me and they were like, dude, we're supposed to play Warped Tour in like 3 hours. And so we just like didn't show up, and somehow they still booked us this year. I don't understand that.
Just like a scheduling flaw thing. It was like crazy.
So you guys
wasn't even
didn't
us that
perform though,
found out.
right?
What?
You guys didn't perform though, right?
No.
Like you three, no? Okay.
No,
we
we didn't show up.
we didn't
We
know
were
what.
there, we just didn't have anything with us.
They didn't have
Kyle wasn't there. He was all the way in Nashville.
Yeah. Hey man, sorry, but you snooze, you lose. We're gonna play.
So we get there, and then one of our friends actually like shows us a schedule, and they're like, "Man, I didn't know you guys were playing today." And we're like, "We're not playing today." And then we look on the schedule, and there's our name. So it was weird. Cause like we got put on the guest list and stuff. We were like, everybody knew we were coming, and then like, why would we need to get on the guest list if we're playing?
I was mad. I was really mad.
Yeah, we were mad that day.
That was a bad day.
So Melissa.
It's like
Yes. My question?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start off with, I have a couple, but I'm gonna start off with, I know me personally, my parents are a little bit more protective, so if I was like, oh, hey, I'm going on Warped Tour, they would kind of freak out a little. I was wondering how your family reacted to the news, like, oh yeah, I'm going on Warped Tour right now.
I mean, that's a good question. If I were 14 and I told my mom that, it would have been a different issue, but,
True.
I'm 21, so I've been living out on my own for a while, so
Nice.
it's kind of like, but Ansley was fresh out of high school. Like a couple months ago.
Yeah, she graduated right before the tour started. So she graduated, and this is the first thing that she did afterwards. So, but we've all been good friends for a while now and stuff. So I think everybody's all our families are really supportive and stuff. We're really lucky to have that. So, yeah, it was great. A big shout out to some of our dads and other relatives, his brother. They all helped drive some of the day to make this tour work out for us. So
Nice.
they were really supportive and great.
That's so good.
No, that's always good. It's great to have that support system because you really can't do it unless you got people back behind you. That's what people don't realize.
I mean, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It makes everything so much easier.
So you guys have supportive families, which is very good, very fortunate. But how did you guys kind of get started as a band together? Were you guys friends first, or did you meet because of the band?
I mean, it was a little bit of both. I met Jake in a class, and he was wearing a Ramones shirt, and I was like, hey, that's cool. I like the Ramones. And so he called me a few weeks later and was like, hey, man, I'm putting together a band. You want to play bass? And I never played bass before, and I was like, sure. So we started another band which was 6 years ago. We started another band, the two of us with some other guys, and we just played covers. And then Ainsley came and joined because none of us could sing. And so that band broke up a few years ago, and then the three of us created Jule Vera, and then we found Kyle a year ago. So.
And the obligatory question, how did you guys come up with that name?
Ainsley found that, right?
Yeah, on the baby names list.
Yeah, they were right next to each other, and it means young truth in Greek.
Sweet. That's actually my rap name, is Young Truth, so...
No way.
Yeah.
There you go. It does sound like a rap.
What does it mean now?
If you want it to be.
Well, yeah, okay. Now, how long did you guys play, and how did you guys get signed to Pure Noise too? Because Pure Noise, like, like you guys are like a really young band. Like, how did you guys find out that you got signed to Pure Noise out of all labels?
Well, I mean, we didn't find out about how we got signed to Pure Noise until we were on the tour, and we met our booking agent for the first time, Zachary Seppin. And he told us that before he was our booking agent, we hadn't even met any of these guys. He found one of our songs on an European blog somewhere that we put through SoundCloud.
Like some blogger that just scrolls through SoundCloud and listens to random music and writes blogs about it, listened to it, one little string,
Yeah.
and then wrote a blog about it.
And so he was roommates with Jake Round, the owner of Pure Noise, and he showed Jake Round it, and Jake Round just like liked it. He signed us, so.
It's actually a really cool story.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was
It's really
before.
different.
Like he just heard that one song. He didn't even like call us or like want to talk to us or anything. He was just like, "Hey, I want to sign you guys."
We didn't talk to him on the phone a single time, and we had never met him, and he decided to sign us, so.
It's pretty funny.
Wow.
It's also, I also have no idea, like, why Zach, our booking agent, was reading this blog. Like, I don't think it's a popular blog. I don't know, like, where that came from. Just, like, Googling music blogs. And just like, this one looks interesting.
Do you know what it's
It
called?
seems like astronomical chances to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I'd have to ask him.
That's interesting, though. I'm gonna
He
follow
just
this
told us
blog.
this
Story while we were on Warped Tour.
Yeah, he
so-
told us this when we met him in one of the shows there. Met him for the first time, too.
It's the pop punk Illuminati. That's what it is.
Definitely.
He was scoping talent and found you guys.
That's super amazing though, because it just shows that it all falls into place without you even knowing it.
Yeah, freak accidents sometimes.
Yeah, that's really cool that way, definitely.
Yeah.
So how long were you guys doing everything before everything kind of turned into this bizarro world that you're living in now?
We started Jule Vera, so like our old band disbanded like a little bit before that, and so the three of us started Jule Vera in April 2013. And then we played together for about a year with like friends drumming, and then we found him about a year later, so about last year sometime we met Kyle through a mutual friend, and that worked out really well. And then last year we found out we were signing to Pure Noise, and then everything just kind of started spiraling in January. So
So it
Wow.
literally did just fall right into place. That's really cool.
yeah.
That's really awesome. So how do you guys put out good stuff, no, and that's no doubt, but you talk about doing really different things, like taking apart a drum set and playing this outro that's not even on the album. How do you guys come up with ideas? Is it collaborative? Do one of you guys just say, hey, I want to do this, and you figure out how it works, or how is it?
It's definitely a little bit collaborative.
Yeah, it's a lot collaborative. I think one person will just come up with like one small bit of something we do, and then it just kind of grows from there. It's like, hey, I want to do something where two of us play drums. Well, what if we do this instead? And it just kind of starts flying everywhere. It's kind of like, and then at the end, sometimes it's like, how did we come up with that? Like, sometimes it seems a little impossible to me even. Like, I don't know how we, like Light the Night. I don't know if you guys have seen that music video, but it actually, about a month ago, Alt Press said it was one of the best music videos of the year so far.
Wow.
And that was just like, we did it almost entirely on our own. Someone just showed up with a camera, and it was just like one little idea, and we just started building. And like, when we saw it final for the first time, when we watched it for the first time, it was like, how did we, like, do that? I don't know. I really don't. It's just kind of one of those things you just...
We're definitely thinking about getting into the music video production.
After we got that credit.
After that, because like, I mean, we need to make some extra money somewhere.
Yeah, we were in way over our heads. Like, we had no idea what we were doing, and we like built this room out of mirrors and set up all these different light scenes, and it took a ridiculous amount of time. Like, we almost didn't sleep for like 2 weeks, it feels like right before we shot the video, just trying to get stuff ready. And we should not honestly, we should not have been in charge of it.
There was chaos. We had stuff arriving for the video the day we were shooting.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
We were shooting 2 videos in 2 days. So we shot Light the Night one day, and then the next day we shot our upcoming video, Scarlet Letter. So,
But, I mean, we worked really hard on it, and I think everyone's really happy with how it turned out.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't know if anyone else is, but
Collaboration of ideas, I guess.
And the fact that like our like tiny budget little video that we made was like one of the top 6 next to like Taylor Swift's Bad Blood video and stuff was like really cool to.
Mind-blowing.
It was like what in the world did we do? Like,
So we need a video produced. Kind of awesome. I'm just
we were in way over our heads. It was crazy.
Well, if I ever need a video, I'll let you guys know.
do you have any questions, Melissa?
Yes, I do. Having this quote-unquote newfound fame being whisked away in a year's time with everything going on, do you have any advice for upcoming singers or artists or people that want to get into the industry, want to go on tour? Yeah, what's your advice?
I would definitely say write as many songs as you possibly can and play as many shows as you possibly can. So that's kind of like a cliche answer, but that's really just the only way it happens. We wrote hundreds of songs over the last 2 years. So, I mean, we're still writing tons, and we probably won't even use most of it. We won't use hardly any of them, if any, on our upcoming record that we're going to start working on soon. So, I mean, it's just like you just write and write, and you get better every time you write a song, and you get better every time you play a show. And as long as you work hard, someone eventually will notice. So, get that music out there, put it on SoundCloud, put it on Bandcamp, whatever you want to use, just try to get it out there. 'Cause, I mean, if we had just like independently stuck a song on SoundCloud, I don't think any of this would have started to happen. It was really cool.
Just gotta pray some European sees it.
I mean, a lot of people would sit there and think like, oh, we're like literally nobody, just like a couple of kids from Alabama who recorded a song and put it on SoundCloud. Like, you get like 50 listens, you know, like, oh yeah, 50 people listen to my song. Great, nothing happens. But like, it was just that small little thing that got us signed to Pure Noise. It's weird how sometimes that works out.
It is, definitely.
It's insane though. Like, I'm from the Gulf Coast, so you guys probably understand. There is no music scene here. There is, but not really.
Yeah,
So,
that's how it is, yeah.
even for you guys to say that, like, just some kids from Alabama, and now you're on Pure Noise Records? I don't know. If you would have told me 3 years ago that I would have just said that sentence, I would have laughed at you. I would have been like, no, Alabama music? What's that? Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of bands that can really build like a local following and work that way. Like 21 Pilots is a great example of how they did that, and they got signed off that, you know. But like, that's just not a thing here.
yeah. I think the biggest issue with here is that there's so many people who are interested. There's so much interest, but no one will get off their ass and do anything.
No one will go to a
That's the
show.
band that's going to be legendary.
Yeah, right?
Definitely be the band.
You'll be like, hey, let's start a band. Let's jam or something. And people will be like, yeah, that's cool.
The next Nirvana.
And then it doesn't happen. It won't happen. And when people do start bands here, it always sounds like 3 Days Grace. And I'm like, that's not what we need. That's not the answer. So thank you guys for being the answer that I've been like praying for. It's insane. It's crazy.
I actually have a follow-up question too. You said to play as many shows as you possibly can. I know I've talked to people that say that you need a strategy and to play, maybe if you're playing in an area, play one show a month or something. What is your opinion on that?
I mean, that's how it worked for us for a while. Like it's really hard to get into venues and stuff sometimes, but you just gotta like annoy people through email until they do it. You know, that's how it worked for us. So like, we just emailed venues like, and sometimes it doesn't have to be like the ones like right next to you. Like there was none near like Auburn, Alabama, really that we could play. There was a couple, but we played them, and you know, but so we reached out to mainly like Atlanta. Because there was a much bigger music scene there, and there's a lot of venues that would work well. Like the Masquerade, we played there like a bunch of times because we just emailed the local promoter there, and she was nice enough to put us on. We just sent her some of our songs and stuff and told her how like interested we were playing. And sometimes you have to do like crazy things like, hey, you can only play the show if you sell like 30 pre-sale tickets or whatever. Like so we did that a couple times. Like. There's a few different ways to do it though. You just gotta like reach out to the venues and just kind of do it from there. And if you don't do full band stuff, if you're like acoustic or something, there's plenty of like coffee shops near you probably that will they'll just have you come play for 30 minutes or whatever. You know, you gotta find local stuff really, not like obviously big chains and stuff. Like you're not gonna really be able to go to House of Blues or something and say you want to play as easily as like a local venue or something that was willing to support local music.
But persistence is definitely key there. I mean, like we started playing a few shows here, and then you can't play too many shows in one spot because it's all the same people, so you're gonna stop coming. So then we would we'd reach out to Atlanta, we'd play a show in Atlanta, and then Birmingham, and then Nashville, and then Florida. So it's just hitting your region. Like you just got to get that region down first. I mean. We're still playing our region, you just gotta keep working at it. Because, you play shows for 5 kids, but you gotta play it like it's for 30,000 kids.
Yeah.
And definitely when you're first starting out too, like I wouldn't say, like just play as many as you can, because the reality of the situation is that no one's coming to see you. Like, that's just it. Like when you're beginning, there might be 2 people that show up for like your band, but you're just hoping that whoever the headliner that night is, you're always going to get some different crowds from them, even if it's 15 people. Like, there's so many shows. Honestly, I don't know how they get booked. We'll play in Atlanta so many times where it's like, we're opening for this band. And sometimes we'll even have radio play. There's like 10 people there. And it's like, it's weird, but I mean, that's 10 people that weren't there for you, that had no idea who you were. And,
Yeah.
I mean, you show and play.
People are.
Yeah. And you gotta just like go and talk to every single one of those 10 people too. Like that's something we tried to do, and we still try to do with social media and stuff, is just talk to everybody and stuff, because you're not like there's like 100,000% chance more that you're gonna get offended, like if you actually go and talk to them than if they just hear you and then leave. You're a lot more likely to remember a conversation you have with a band member rather than just seeing them or whatever. So because they are coming for the headliner, they're usually not coming for you. The only way they're going to remember you if you give them a reason to. So.
Exactly. So related to kind of what you guys were talking about like definitely playing shows where you can. The All-Star Tour is a real thing, and they've been doing this thing where they've been booking lots of local bands, and a lot of people are complaining because they're stretching out the show times, and one of them specifically I saw was they were opening the doors at 1 p.m., and they threw on a whole bunch of local bands, and people are complaining because they're like, these local bands are wasting their time. They're playing to no one. No one's going to want to show up for them, and it's a waste of time. What do you guys think about that?
I think that has a lot to do with the show. Like, I mean, if you're like, I've spent a lot of time like in the more like hardcore like punk realm, and in that realm, if there's a touring band coming through and you put the locals on, then all their friends and their fans will come out and see them, and they want to stay for every single band. And that's how it works there. But I've also been to other shows where it's like a band in a different scene, and you put a whole bunch of bands on there, and no one gives a crap. So it really just depends on what it is. And also, there's shows where there might need one local, but they put 3 on, and like that's just kind of overkill,
Yeah, that's hard. That's definitely hard.
So it depends on the lineup. Like if you have like a 4-band tour package and you put 3 locals on there, like that's a problem. No one's gonna want to come that early. Everyone's just gonna be mad because they're having to sit there all day. But if you put one band on that show, all these people that are coming for the tour package are going to see that band, and maybe some of them are going to love them. And it's going to be that band that's going to be making fans. So I'm definitely into local bands opening shows, but I also feel like there's the moments for it and the time for it, and also like how many bands are on the show.
I think that could very easily be detrimental to the music scene too if you're booking too many local bands. Because like if someone has to sit there for 2.5 hours to local bands that they don't know, it's going to put a bad taste in their mouth for openers, which is not what you want here. Like the whole point of opening is to try and give bands exposure and give them a chance. So overbooking, like when you're doing that, everyone's just going to start not coming for the openers, which sucks. Like that's the beauty of Warped Tour too. That's why they don't tell you what time bands are playing, so that everyone's in at the same time.
And like, if you're like a local opener or whatever, you want to be put on with bands that are like similar to your style and stuff too. So like, we didn't email asking if we could open for like some hardcore band or something like that. That's just not gonna. Like they're not gonna care as much. Like their fans might not like us as much and stuff. But we would bands similar to our style and stuff. We would just look on their schedule and then email the promoter. Hey, can we open for this show? I see they don't have an opener yet. And we're similar in style. Here's our music, blah blah blah. And then 1 in every 100 times we get a response. So that's just you just gotta work hard at it. I mean. It's a lot of work for little reward until you can actually start moving up, So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Craig.
Are there any other ways to get into playing shows through do-it-yourself venues or through playing in your garage and stuff? So maybe develop up a fan base before you start going to the venues, a little locally. Or is that not a thing in Alabama with do-it-yourself venues?
Sorry, what?
Rephrase that.
Okay. Is there a do-it-yourself scene in Alabama?
Very little. Very little.
Okay. So I'm just wondering how to build up your local fan base before you go to the venues. Maybe developing something before you go, so at least you have someone show up.
I mean, that's really hard, especially in a town like ours where there isn't much for bands of our sound, and kids aren't necessarily going to be coming to see us all the time. So we really had to branch out, and as people started thinking that you were playing these other shows, they would start thinking about you and they'd be like, oh, that's legit, and then they want to see it. So honestly, it wasn't until we started playing out more that we started getting more people at home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's different.
This is insightful because I've been trying to figure out what the hell I can do in Mobile because I see stuff go on in other places that you guys have probably seen too, and I just wish it was everywhere.
Same here. I'm not in a band, but my friends are, and I'm trying to manage them, so to say. So I'm like, hey, you should play here. Hey, you should play there. So knowing it's cool if you play other places and that also brings people in, that's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, you're just going to play for no one. We played last summer, we played Summerfest in Milwaukee, which was something Zach, our booking agent, it was right when we found out we were going to get signed to Pure Noise. It was his first thing he booked us on, I guess, kind of like a show of good faith. He wasn't even our booking agent yet. He was just like, hey, guys are going to play this. And on the way, though, he booked us a bunch of shows. We played in Chicago and Nashville and but it was just, it's weird. It's we showed up to the Chicago show, and it was one of the few runs we had done at that time, a couple shows. We were super excited. We had this interview set up with a local radio station, which was crazy to us at the time. We're oh my gosh, we're going to talk to this guy, and he interviewed us all night. Or not all night. We met him, and he was oh, you put me on the desk, this is going to be great, and so pumped, and literally there was not one person in the show, not one. We played for no one, the sound guy. Yeah. And the radio station guy was telling us, like, I've never been to this place when it's not packed out. He's like, I'm sure it'll be good. It was just him. It was funny. But, and then the next day, though, we played at Summerfest for a lot of people. Like, just walking by, it was like, at least 500 people watching, which was crazy. And then we went the next day and played for 10. So, I mean, you're going to play with no one for a long time, so that's what it is.
Word. So,
It always depends so much on like what time you're playing, who you're playing this, your stage is.
Yeah. I'm like,
Whoa. You can make a cool EDM song with this. Yes.
directing traffic. And then in St. Louis, we played for like 6 people.
Yeah.
So
it's like it just,
and I was on Warped Tour.
it varied so much.
Just kinda
So
how it is.
I don't want to burst y'all's bubble, but you guys went out of connection for like all of that. Like all I heard was you talking, and then it just sounded like dubstep, and then directing traffic.
Make a new song with that.
Yeah.
Which part did you last hear? Did you hear about the Milwaukee show last year?
It was about Milwaukee. I was hearing dates, and then it went out. It was something about the next band played to 10 people.
Okay. Yeah, so what happened was last summer, we got booked for Summerfest, which is a big festival in Milwaukee. So we did a run up there, and our booking agent booked us like 3 shows along the way. And we played Chicago for literally no one. But the next day we played in Milwaukee, and we had like 500 people come and watch us. And then the next day we went to Nashville, played for 10. So it's like, it just changes so much. It was the same way I worked for this year. We went from having our stage manager having direct crowd control in Dallas to playing for 6 people in St. Louis. So, you know, it just depends.
Yeah.
But you got to keep at it.
St. Louis doesn't like you guys.
I don't know, man. We had a really bad. We were like clashed with Paris that day, and as you know, Paris is like probably the most similar to us on the entire tour. And then it was just like our stage was in a bad spot. It was just.
Some days it just happens.
It wasn't even like a big turnout overall for that day.
That day was St. Louis. Also was like one of the hottest ones. We saw so many people getting sick and stuff. It was one of the more like brutal days on the tour for sure.
I definitely almost passed out after our show. I was laying on the asphalt behind stage, just like laying down.
That's like the worst place to lay.
Yeah, we love St. Louis.
Love you guys.
Just not that particular show.
It was hot.
Yeah.
So you
We have
guys,
to come back.
you guys have found success, and we were talking about how there is no local scene, but how have you guys seen your local scene change since everything's happened with you guys? Have you really had a chance to even like digest it?
Yeah, I haven't really been home much, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out next time we play near us.
You're gonna come home and all your fans are gonna be like banging on your car windows. Oh my
That's
god!
actually why we had to come to Florida.
You're laying
Like
low.
we were driving up to Jake's house, and there was just like a mob, so we just turned around and
It's gonna be like the Lizzie McGuire movie for you guys.
I love Lizzie McGuire.
I love how you made that reference. It's so old.
I don't know. I try to reference that movie as much as I can.
I don't blame you. It's fantastic.
It's what dreams are made of, really.
Oh, of course.
It's a song.
I know, didn't you like that movie?
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. It was pretty great.
Same here. I
So,
aspire to know Duff.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
I do, real quick. I know you said that when it came to music news and other news, you were in a Vans Warped Tour bubble, so you didn't really hear about much. But I know Vans Warped Tour was also a huge political stage for a lot of artists, like Buddy for
Census failed.
yeah, for Soupy. So, even though there wasn't that much news when it comes to music, were there a lot of political issues going on? Was there a lot of news in that aspect? There was opinions, but did you hear a lot about what was going on in the whole,
not
In the
especially
Twitter.
like of current events. I mean, I went and watched the Wonder Years a few times, and Census failed a couple times too. And they would talk about issues that they believed in, but it wasn't necessarily all like this just happened.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what was happening. I just knew I know those bands are very set in their stances, which is awesome. I respect that a lot. And like Soupy, I know was wearing his Bernie Sanders shirts. I knew that Bernie Sanders was a presidential candidate, so I knew that.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Well, I think what she's talking about is usually every summer there's some scandal that goes down with Warped Tour. This year there really wasn't many scandals as much as there were what the fuck are you doing moments.
Being the fan.
Front Porch Step played at Nashville, and
Yeah, that was a
everyone was
big deal.
pissed off.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
I
lot of
remember
people.
talking to Transit about that, and they weren't super stoked on that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was really stoked about it.
Yeah.
But also Franz from Attila was just saying a whole bunch of really homophobic things,
Oh yeah.
and Soupy and Buddy from Census Fail kind of stepped up to it, and it was just that was the drama. The drama was social justice.
And
the
slaves.
internet.
Don't forget slaves.
Yeah, Johnny
They were
Craig
all
was Johnny
slaves.
Craig.
I remember the slaves thing. I went to that town hall meeting. I don't know Johnny, so I don't have any right to
well-
even speak on that subject. But
What was the town hall meeting like?
say what?
What was the town hall meeting
yeah,
like?
yeah.
It was basically like everyone. There were friends of Johnny, and then people who kind of knew him, or people that didn't know him. But basically, Kevin would talk about what was going on. He would explain why he was sorry, or why Warped Tour was the best place for him. And then everyone else, anyone who wanted to speak about the subject, could go up there and talk. So I heard tons of people talk. Everyone from guys from Beartooth, August Burns Red, his friends talking about the issue, and then they just had a vote. And it was just kind of like what you would think a town hall meeting would look like.
Yeah.
Was it
Back
unanimous?
to the good old days of town halls.
Yeah,
Was the vote unanimous, or was it
Was it what?
like the vote to get
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
can't remember what the
I don't know what the ratio was. They didn't say. I don't think it
It
was.
wasn't
like,
like everyone.
I wasn't. It was a vote. It was like a tally.
Yeah,
There was a piece of paper.
It was a secret ballot.
Yeah, it was a secret
Oh.
ballot. You took a piece of paper.
It was like Survivor.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeff Probst goes up with
They got voted out.
the votes.
Yeah, I'm kicking slaves off the island. You guys are fuckboys. Put it in the box.
So I have a question. Away from the Warped Tour thing. So, as I've said 100 times, you guys are getting bigger. But momentum can run out very fast. What are you guys doing to avoid being one of those bands? What do you guys do that really things drives you apart from the others?
We have some more stuff coming out. We're always wanting to be doing something, So we always keep up with social media and stuff, or at least try to, So we try to tell everybody what we're doing and stuff. And then this fall we're going to be coming to see everybody again. With Against the Current Vinyl Theater. It's going to be all North America again. So
And Canada.
I said North
Which
America.
is part of North America.
Yeah. so yeah, U.S. and Canada again, and then we're gonna see everybody there. And we also have 2 music videos coming out. So one should be out closer to later this month and stuff. So we're really excited about that. And then we have another one, later this year.
And our EP just dropped, and we're already working on stuff for a full length. So
yeah.
it's very key nowadays to release music a lot because I remember reading something I think Levi was saying about how kids are very ADD these days. Levi from Dismay, and how in order to stay current, you just have to kind of like keep giving them something to look forward to. So that's why like bands have to put out albums quicker now than they used to. I mean, back in the '80s, you could put one out every 3 years and it would still go like 40 million copies. But these days, if you want to keep your fans' attentions, you have to keep putting out new stuff. So we have videos coming out, new tours, keep going on social media, and just immediately start working on new music.
Now, do you think that's a disadvantage when it comes to quality of work as well?
I think it can be for some people. I definitely don't think it is for us. Like, I can't remember the last time. I mean, these 4 days that we're about to experience, a nice little vacation, but like since probably February, I can't remember the last time we had a day off. Like, period. Like, you pretty much just work all day and like a lot of the night, as much as you can, and it's just put a lot of attention to detail. Like, we really strive to, especially when it comes to recording and anything that gets put out, like our videos, be very creative, like as outside of the box as we can, stuff we haven't seen done or that we can come up with that's good, and spend a lot of time like writing parts. It's like we just spent, yesterday we were in a studio tracking a demo, right? And it's like, first of all, there already was a demo for this song, which Jake, you probably spent like, I bet 10 hours on that demo. I would guess, right? So from there, we went to the studio, and we all just like live tracked all day. We got in a room, we all played it together like a band, which was great. And came out at the end of the day, and personally, I feel like maybe we made like 10 or 20% of progress into the song. Like, we spent 10 hours working on it, all playing all day. And I don't even know, like, if one of the drum parts I played I'm going to keep or not, Like, I just want to make sure that it's right. So for the next couple weeks, like, whenever I have time, I'm gonna make time. We're all gonna go through and just keep doing the parts over and over. Like, you have to release music sooner, but as long as you're really working hard at it and making sure that it's like in our minds as close to perfect as you can get, I think that's important.
Awesome.
Like, I don't see any point where we stop and say like, okay, that's good enough, let's release it, until it's like that right there is the perfect song. It's not going to be ready. So
I like that.
I don't think we'll like preemptively drop a record like, we got to release something soon, and it's not good enough yet.
No, that's good ethic. I think that's what more people need. Because I think you see nowadays too many people go, oh, we made this one song that's catchy, so let's just put out more stuff. And they don't ever put the effort to make sure that it's the same level of quality.
Right.
It's just,
they
it's
had
poor
like
work
one
ethic.
good song on the whole album. Yeah.
There's especially in the last few years, there's been a lot of breakout bands where it's like they get to work on their first record for like 3 years because they haven't really been touring that much or on the road. Like, they get signed, they do their debut EP or their debut record, and it like blows up and it's huge. But they've been writing those songs and working on them for years, and then it's like, oh, we wrote our second record like in a month or like in between tours, or we did it all in 2 weeks, and it's like, a lot of times people just don't put the same work into it, and it comes out and it just doesn't do as well.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that you have a certain level. Like, this is, or every time you got to top yourself. Like, that's way better than what we did before.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the first person I could think about right now, Creeper from the UK. Have you heard of those guys?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, their debut album, it was like a 5-song EP. Oh my god, it was so good. But then their new stuff, it wasn't that good at all. And I'm like, why?
That's also why, like, a lot of bands, you're like, oh, I like their early stuff, or I like their first record or something. That's like a common theme. I just hope that's never like the case with us, because like it should be always like progressing and always getting better. You should always be better songwriters, better musicians. Like, there's no reason for like everything to like go downhill, which is what a lot of artists do, and that's like unfortunate. And
Yeah, I can tell you now that the stuff we're working on now is like 100% more than what we already put out.
I feel like just what we did yesterday was like
What?
leagues above what our record we put out is already, and it's just like we only worked on it for 1 day, and we still have like probably 40 hours of work or more, probably like
On that
50,
one
60
song.
on that one song. You know, so it should be.
It should be good.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
How do you think you guys have matured from Middle Class DP to the stuff that you're working on now?
How do you think what?
You guys have matured.
Matured. I mean, I feel like everything is better. I think we have a better vision of what we want to be. But with the EP, we were still young. We weren't sure exactly what sound we wanted, you know. We had people telling us you should play it like this or do it like this. But I feel like with our next record, we're going to really try to everything from the songwriting to the melodies to the lyrics. Everything's going to be 100% us. To like our part writing. I think we're all much better players now. Like I'm a better bass player. He's a better drummer. He's a better guitar player. She's a better singer. You know, we're all better songwriters. And I don't want to sound cocky when I say that. I mean, it's just how it just progresses over time. Like I can say I sucked then, you know. And I still have a lot to improve on, like a lot to improve on. I look at people that I respect and I'm like, I wish I could be there. They're leagues above me. But you just have to keep working at it in order to get to that, you know. They weren't there overnight. Like they weren't like, I'm going to start a band and then they were all of a sudden that good. Like, it takes years to get to that level.
I mean,
And
practice makes perfect.
I think just now we've just matured as songwriters and players and just in our vision of what we want to be as a band.
Nice. That's really cool that you guys have that outlook too. You're not looking to settle. That's really admirable.
Craig, do you have anything?
Let's see. Jule Vera. Honestly, right now, no. When's your new album coming out? Is it gonna be out like by the end of the year or like next year probably?
Probably next year.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely sometime next year.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're still just like writing and stuff for it, so it's not even like close to being done.
Oh yeah.
We don't even have like a collective set of songs we want on it.
Now, Ansley, what's it like being like a girl in the scene? Is it like interesting for you just coming out of that and knowing the mantra it has with it being a girl in a band?
Honestly, the only thing different from being a female singer as opposed to a guy singer in this band is, help me out, guys. I mean, there's really nothing except that I'm a girl. There's nothing different.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
good.
obviously we would sound a lot different, but we don't get like hate. Like we only get positive usually.
Yeah, I don't think it causes any problems. The only thing that comes like typically with it is that for some reason, like you can have as many different rock bands with a guy singer as you want, but as soon as there's a rock band with a girl singer, it's like, oh, that's Paramore.
Yeah.
Like,
right?
Harris gets in.
Harris gets in.
Echo Smith gets in.
Echo Smith.
Yeah.
Even
Bodies.
We Are the In Crowd.
Yeah,
Beautiful
all
Bodies.
those bands. You go on any band's YouTube that was on Warped Tour that's female fronted. Like half the comments are gonna be like, "This is just a Paramore song." Like this is, or like she sounds like Hayley Williams, or this is like kind of like Paramore. And I get it. Like,
No.
don't get me wrong, Paramore is incredible.
Awesome.
Like, growing up, they were one of my favorite bands. They're unbelievable. But I think that's the only thing that ever like is different about it. You know, it's
That's
like
why-
Just like you can't ever
There's no-
escape that comparison nowadays because they're just like
because they're iconic.
they're
in
the
our
iconic
age.
girl band
Yeah.
of our era.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because there'll be guy bands where it's like two different singers will sound very similar, and they'll just be like, oh, that guy sounds like that guy. Oh, cool, and like that's it. But like when it's a girl, it's like, oh no, you can't do that. You know?
That's good. It's not a thing. That
I
is
don't-
no different from you guys or whatever. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah, even like one of the, like sometimes we've actually heard this quite a lot. It's like, oh, I don't like female-fronted bands or whatever, and then we're like, okay, well, we just listen to it, you know, or whatever on Warped Tour. And they're like, oh, okay, and they're like, wow, I really like this. I didn't think guys could like it because I don't like girl singers.
We hear that a lot. We heard that.
We've heard it multiple times, though.
Yeah, but not a lot.
Not a lot. Okay, I don't phrase
good.
that. Not a lot, but multiple times that we hear that.
Correct.
So, yeah, there were definitely a few times on
Well,
Warped
that's
Tour
good.
that
I'm glad.
I just think it's strange because we're at a point where people are pushing feminism really hard now, and it's a great thing. The equality is a great thing, but it's a weird point because everyone's starting to wake up to what's going on and understanding all these inequalities. And you see a lot of it in the music scene, and you hear a lot of people talk about it, and you hear a lot of people have really strong opinions. But it's really rare to like actually get a band and be like, so hey, what's it like being a girl in a band? Because most of them are like, what do you mean what's it like being a girl in a band? I'm a girl in a band.
I don't really think it's caused any problems or even bothered us at all. Like it,
Yeah.
I think that's how it should be. It's just like, I'm a girl and I'm in a band. What's your question?
And with the whole Hayley Williams thing, I think they were the very first band to have a female-fronted singer in this scene that really made it big. So now that there are a lot more female singers coming out, I feel like there's going to be a lot more of a so I can hear myself fuck up. There's going to be a lot more diversity, and people are going to be a lot more accepting. Before you know, it's just going to be a normal thing.
I'm sure, like, Stefani and, like, Hayley Williams and stuff, like, I'm sure they felt that a lot. Yeah. I'm sure there was a lot of issues there, but I feel like because of those, people don't take the blame for stuff.
We got some lag.
What?
Back
No,
to
you-
the EDM.
Y'all were lagging out really hard.
Oh, sorry.
what was the last thing you heard?
About Hayley Williams, like that last little.
I'm going to go to Gwen
I was just
Stefani.
saying, I think that Gwen Stefani and Hayley Williams, because of singers like that, and they definitely face many like issues with feminism and stuff in those days. And I feel like because of those bands, it's helped pave the way for bands like us to like be accepted easier.
Exactly.
I mean, the last time before, like, I guess Paramore, there was a big rock singers that were females was like the 80s.
Yeah.
Like Heart was really big.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Heart slayed.
Yeah,
Fleetwood
I
Mac.
saw them in concert actually. They were-
What? That's crazy.
But, yeah, they're still playing.
No? Really?
Still
Still playing.
That was actually their motto. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Hopefully it didn't offend you guys or whatever with what I asked. I just felt like with all the feminism things going on the internet, it's the thing that needs to be discussed. But then when we actually start discussing it, it's nothing. And that's what it should be, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're good.
I think there's a huge thing between internet and real life too, where a lot of people it gets just construed on the internet a lot, and you have to realize when you step out, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty.
Uh,
It's so easy to say whatever you want to say online.
Yeah.
You got a
And,
keyboard.
like, not actually have to like live up to your words.
yeah.
Yeah. It's really tough. It's like I can tell you guys aren't. Theoretically, I can tell you guys like you guys are the shittiest band ever. This album sucks, and I could review it. But half these people wouldn't ever do that in person. Like the same people who are gonna shit talk you online are gonna kiss your ass once they meet you in person. And it's so funny.
I wonder if Nick and Dino would do that.
Yeah, people just go like, oh, this album sucks, and they'll post it, and they'll see you at the show, and they'll be like,
Oh, it's
you
good.
guys killed it.
It's good.
You guys killed it.
Fine.
Thank you. Come again, please. When are you guys coming to town again?
Don't beat me up, okay?
It takes like a Simon Cowell to do it in person. Someone who's like,
Yeah.
just say what I want.
We just
It's
need
a no
more
for me.
British people.
Definitely.
So, does anyone else have any other questions?
I can keep on going with questions. Stop me whenever, though.
Oh, our going path.
Okay. So, with your new tour coming up with Against the Current, it's so awesome, by the way. Is there anything that happened on the Vans Warped Tour that you are tweaking for this tour, such as you said that you brought a lot of equipment along? Did you learn to not bring so much equipment? Are you gonna still bring the same amount on the Against the Current tour or stuff like that?
Well, I mean, we'll do a little bit of condensing and stuff, but like the main structure of everything will stay the same, and it's like it'll be a lot easier like on this tour as well because we won't be loading our gear in like through over gravel for a mile and a half, you know. So
And you don't have to change over in
we don't
10
have
minutes,
to change
8
our-
minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So it should
Sound
be a
check
lot
sounds
more
like 4 or
relaxed,
5.
like that, and then so yeah, it'll stay relatively the same, but we'll probably work on a couple things, you know, and then we're also going to work on our show some, you know, there's some parts of our show that we think could be better, you know, some parts that were really good, and so we're going to work on that as well.
Yeah. Do you ever go back on songs that you have recorded? You probably do, but I know that you said that you wait for the song to be absolutely perfect, and then after you play a while, do you realize, oh, I could do it this way, so you start tweaking things live as you go along?
I think there are some parts different live.
Yeah, we definitely, at the very least, expand on our shows live. Not necessarily change them altogether, where it's like, what this song sounds different, or these parts are completely different. But there's a lot of times where we'll be like, I mean, I for one don't necessarily want to go up there and just play the record. You know, like I don't want people to feel like, oh, I'm watching an MP3 happen. So it's like we do a lot of things where I feel like we put a lot more emotion into it, and there's whole new parts, whole new sections of songs that didn't even exist before. And there's definitely subtle changes too, like subtle change in parts that most people wouldn't pick out, but I think for us it definitely makes a difference.
We draw a lot of influence from the classic rock and roll days where on shows they would change everything live. Like, they would keep the same song and then they would just have jam sessions and just do so much cool stuff that you had to experience live.
Yeah.
Like, unless you saw them live, you never got to experience those things. You know, it made it special, and that's what we try to do.
Yeah. Awesome. Could you see yourself going for a little bit more theatrical performance in the future?
Do you see what in our performance?
Like theatrical performance, kind of how Alice Cooper.
Theatrical?
Yeah.
We try to add a little bit of that already, but we do draw a lot of influence from the 21 Pilots show.
Yeah.
And even there's a band on Warped Tour, Set It Off. You guys probably know that band.
Oh yeah.
They kill it live. They do so much theatrical stuff live, and we really like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I mean, ours is definitely a lot more subtle theatrically as of now. I would love to implement more, but we just do small things where there'll be a dramatic stop in our song, and everyone in the band will just and it looks more interesting because we all have tons of hair, but just drop their heads, everyone just freezes with their heads down, and it's just Ansley singing, and it's just very small dramatizations that I think go a long way, but it's not full on 21 Pilots does straight up acting situations and sort of stuff, which is incredible. But I don't know if we'll even get the opportunity to do that because that's their thing right now. Anyway, we don't want to be oh, we're doing this too, you know.
Yeah.
We got to come up with kind of our own.
And also, we won't be able to, I mean, I already feel our show's pretty creative for the opening bands right now, because you know, most people expect an opening as an opening band that we're at the level of right now. We're gonna be opening for we're opening for Against the Current at Final Theater and stuff this fall, but you know, most bands are at the opening level they're just going to go up there and play their songs and stuff, and then because they think that they can't do anything else. We can't do projectors, we can't, you know, have 3 drum sets or whatever, you know,
Which we don't have, by the way.
which we don't. Yeah. So one of the things that we wanted to have a different show though. We didn't want to just play the songs. We had to come up with all these different things that we could do, with the stuff that we already had on stage. You know, some of the road cases that we're already using, we use in the show. We let the crowd hold and we play on them, and I stand on top of one of his toms that comes from his kit. I stand on top of it and play a solo at one point. Stuff like that. We can't bring in a light up podium for me to stand on because we're not headlining yet. But we can drag a tom from behind his kit and stand on that. You know, stuff like that. So That's
So it's
really
going to be a
kinda
minute before y'all get an elevator on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, take it on
we
that.
will.
So I really can't wait till we're like able to till we are headlining or something, and we can do like whatever we want. Then we can actually like do like even more like creative stuff like that. But right now we got to work with what we have, and I think that's cool too. Like that's it's been like defining moments for our band and stuff too. Just like figuring out these things on our own that we're like, what can we work with what we have, like MacGyver style or whatever, you know. So.
Yeah.
Y'all should get into pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
That's where it's at, is those pyrotechnics.
Don't burn your hair off like Michael Clifford.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that video. 5 Seconds of Summer guy like catching on fire or something.
Yeah.
Y'all should call it the Redneck Tour.
Redneck
I didn't see it.
And just,
Because they're from Alabama.
and just, I don't know, black cat fireworks and propane. Blue Rhino Hope Propane can be your sponsor, and y'all can just get into pyrotechnics.
Just don't have any hairspray here at all.
Unfortunately, if one of our hair caught on fire, we'd have to go into hiatus for a couple of years until we were back. It's a
Sorry,
big
no
deal
news.
around here.
Sorry, got a haircut, no new album.
Yeah, you can't tell, but my hair is actually super curly, so I feel your pain.
So, we're running out of time a little bit, so I think we're going to wrap up. Does anyone have any final questions?
On Warped Tour this year, what were some of like some good band friends you guys made on the tour?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
Set It Off, Paris, As It Is, the Kenneths, Alvarez Kings, Knuckle Puck.
Pierce the Veil.
Met some of Pierce the Veil, some of Memphis Mayfire. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, bands I look up to, I got to meet.
There's a ton of others too. Like,
Yeah, so many. Yeah. It was a great time. Seaway are some of my favorite people I met on Warped Tour. They're on our label with us. They're great guys.
Awesome. They're good things.
Oh, Onsun.
Mod Sun,
Mod
band.
Sun, yeah.
Monson was crazy. A different show every day.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Completely different.
One day he played a song that he wrote the night before.
Yes.
He just like that. I mean, it was awesome. He literally does whatever he wants. It's crazy. Another day he would just like stop singing and stop rapping and just played the drums for the whole song. And his drummer like sat on top of the speakers and just like watched. He was like, "I'm playing drums. Get out of the way." He just did it. It was great.
What about the day he ran around the whole amphitheater and just a crowd of kids followed him?
Yeah.
Just ran around, you know, like the grass sections of the amphitheaters. Just
That's intense.
That's awesome.
All right.
And I hope he comes back. And I hope you
It's always
guys come
interesting
back
watching
too.
them because it's different every day.
So, I think my final question is going to be, if you guys could talk to yourselves like 2 years ago, before any of this was even a fathom, what would you say to yourselves? Yeah, it made you think, didn't I?
Stumped.
I don't know, because it seems to be working out like so far. I wouldn't want to go back and mess it up.
Work harder.
Well, yeah, just work hard.
I would tell myself 2 years ago, hey, buy a better cart for Warped Tour.
That's true, yeah. Yep.
And then your younger self would say, "Warped Tour? What do you mean Warped Tour?
Yeah, what? I'll be like, trust me, you'll know when it gets there.
You're playing Atlanta Warped Tour."
Don't be in Nashville.
All right. Well, I think that's most of all the time we have for today. I want to thank y'all for being on the show.
Yay.
Everyone thank Jule Vera.
Dude, you guys are
Thank you for
awesome.
having us.
Yeah, no doubt. This is very cool. This is very exciting. It's always great when we have bands on here, especially bands that are on bigger labels like Pure Noise. It makes us like kind of question what we're doing, where we're like, we just started this a year ago, and we're getting bands on real labels? This is crazy. So thank you.
Yeah,
Good luck to you
absolutely.
guys. There's so much.
Yeah.
It was so nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's great talking to you. Hopefully we'll see you on this upcoming tour, right?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, of course.
Definitely.
Come to Cleveland.
Alright.
Come to Mobile.
Right. I don't
Come
know
to Mobile.
if there's a Cleveland date on this tour, but we'll be back. I love Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for everyone watching at home, this has been Babe Talk. We'll be back next Wednesday with a better host. His name will be Ollie, and we'll have bands on there.
Yeah.
So y'all tune in.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.